What's up, everybody? UFC 299 is done and gone. And man, did it deliver. From the preliminary cards to the main event, pretty much all the fights were truly spectacular. The main event, as expected, was great. Sean O'Malley didn't make do on his promise to KO Chito Vera, but it wasn't his fault. He tried. He tried. I mean, his performance actually was as flawless as could be. The problem is, Chito Vera is just unfinishable. Yeah, you cannot finish the man. Cannot. But Sean O'Malley certainly tried. And in the co-main event, you have Dustin Poirier against the French Benoit Saint-Denis. Obviously, was one of those fights for Dustin Poirier, who was where the risks were much higher than the rewards. But Dustin Poirier, being the kind of fighter that he is, and he's stated all that before the fight and after the fight, he took the fight, he accepted the fight, and he took the risk, rolled the dice, and he won big. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful right hand that put the lights out of Benoit Saint-Denis. And so congrats to Sean O'Malley, congrats to Dustin Poirier. Benoit Saint-Denis, the man is very young and very skilled. I think he still has a bright future in front of him. Obviously, if you lose to Dustin Poirier, considering the list of legends Dustin Poirier has on his resume as victims, so this is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. As a matter of fact, the fact that you were awarded a fight against Dustin Poirier alone is a testament to how good you are. So obviously, Benoit Saint-Denis didn't really lose that much as far as what's ahead of him and his future. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about the fights. So let's finish with this. I just came here to ask you a question. And the question is Sean O'Malley as big as a star as it is being portrayed? I'm not here to shit on Sean O'Malley by no means. I think he's a spectacular fighter. And I do recognize he's a star. I'm just asking, is he as big as it's being portrayed? And I'm not here either to try to tell the UFC how to present things or how to portray things, or trying to throw shade at the whites or anything like this. I mean, hey, listen, I'm the kind of person, when I see results, I respect that. So the UFC, being the company they are, Dana White running that company with that level of success, it's a man that I have great respect for, I look to, and I think I'm not one of those people who just like come and criticize people and be a jackass or anything like this. I have a lot of respect for the UFC. If you compare the UFC to all those other MMA companies out there, even if you compare it to boxing, I think hands down the UFC right now is number one in all combat sports, for sure. So anyways, so let's go back to the question. Is Sean O'Malley as big as a star as it is being portrayed? The main reason I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like we need to give credit where credit is due. Obviously, that was one of the most stacked card the UFC has ever put together. And I feel like there are a lot of good names on the card on Saturday that played together to make the event as successful as it is. I don't know if we know or how long it takes to know what the real pay-per-view numbers are, but obviously in terms of the gates from when Dana White doing the post-fight press conference, They were great. I believe that there are a lot of players involved in making the event as big as it was. And what I'm saying is this. Now, you may say, well, but that's true for any event. Yes, it is. But when we talk about superstar, when it comes to like pay-per-view, people that generates a lot of pay-per-view buys, the number one name that comes to mind is Conor McGregor, right? Now, what I'm saying is Conor McGregor with a shitty card would regardless crush it in pay-per-views because it is Conor McGregor. And so the question is, if you give Sean O'Malley a shitty card, how well would he do? And I wouldn't expect him. That's why I don't say like Conor McGregor. I would expect him to crush it, but how well would he do? And that's where I feel like we need to look at a lot of the other people who are part of the event. Particularly one name is Dustin the Diamond Poirier. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, if Poirier wasn't the number one driver of interest of UFC for UFC 299, I truly believe that he was at least equally important as driving interest as Sean O'Malley was. Because numbers don't lie, okay? Before I came to talk to you, I looked up the top 10 most successful pay-per-view events of the UFC. As you would have expected, they all involved Conor McGregor, but two. And the two that didn't involve Conor McGregor one was Usman versus Masvidal, and the other was Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. And in Conor McGregor's three most successful pay-per-view events, two of them involved Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Now, Conor McGregor's pay-per-view events, you can rank them as well. So which means there are certain fighters against which, or when you pair Conor McGregor with them, his star lights brighter. And his number one pay-per-view success was against Khabib Nurmagomedov, which we all knew and makes sense, right? Khabib Nurmagomedov is a superstar in his own right, and that makes sense. So then if we are considering Conor McGregor being a superstar, then we need to recognize also the importance of him fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is a superstar in his own right. And his two most other successful pay-per-view were both Conor McGregor Poirier 2 and Conor McGregor Poirier 3. Now, for those of you who may not remember, those guys fought 3 times. The first time was way back when both guys were kind of early in their careers. And then, but the 2 fights that most of us remember are the most 2 recent ones. Both cases, Dustin Poirier won by TKO. And both of those fights are ranked second when it comes to pay-per-view buys for Conor McGregor. So Dustin Poirier in his own right is a superstar. So, which means he has a lot to do with the success of UFC 299. And I just don't want this to be forgotten or overlooked. Obviously, even Dana and everybody talking about Dustin Poirier, they talk very congratulatory, I would say, respectful terms about the event. But I just feel that he's maybe more than that. Not just like it was important or big for him to be on the card, but I think I wonder if if he wasn't the number one driver of interest on that card, or if at least just as equally important as Sean O'Malley. But anyways, this is what I wanted to share with you, and this is what I want your opinion on. So please go to the comment section, share your opinion. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to this channel, watch this video, like the video, share the video, and until I see you again, peace out.